Sam, as you let's move on from football to volleyball. Obviously, huge weekend as DBK made her debut as the volleyball coach. Probably didn't do ourselves any favors in terms of limiting expectations, but couldn't have asked for a better debut either.
They're a great team. Yep. They didn't miss a beat. So they look good. There's so many players. I was doing the Showdown podcast last week with Amy Just, and as she kind of rattled off, because she knows way more than I do, as she rattled off all the young players who were in the program, I'm like, I didn't remember that player was here now. I did not remember that recruit was here. They had 6 recruits who are in the program now. And I don't know how many of those are going to play, but their future, they've got it all set up. So, they've got 6 young players. I think all of them were there. And some of those players look great to me. I think Ryan Hunter, who's been injured for a year, certainly looked like she could play. So they're a great team. At this point, with Nebraska volleyball, it's a handful of teams that can call themselves what Nebraska calls itself. They've come very close the last couple of years at winning the national championship. This could be the year they break through. As they used to say about Osborne, you never know when that first national championship is going to come. At least expect it. And I think that it wouldn't that we wouldn't expect it. We would expect them to be a contender. But I can tell you this: I remember I was still in school back in 2000. And I don't remember all of us looking at each other and going, okay, well, this is the national title team. And then they went undefeated. So you never know when the moment is going to be perfect. And sometimes it is. And this could be the team that gets it done. I have to imagine that Dani Busboom Kelly is super motivated. I haven't asked her personally, but to win a national championship would be an incredible thing. And as great of a job as she did at Louisville, she wasn't able to. She got to the finals a couple of times, and so I'm sure her hunger to win and her team's hunger to win are exactly the same. And I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch how they play.
Sam, I kind of asked Coach Cook this, and we talked a little bit about off to the side, and he described her attributes. Having had success here. He talked about small town Nebraska. Her being really good in crunch time, embracing the moment. And I get those accolades. That's cool, and it's all true. But the fit of her temperament following somebody like Coach Cook, you have to be built a certain way. Whatever that way is, it has to be a good fit. How underappreciated is the fact that with a guy with that broad of shadows that can cast that big shoulders, that can cast that big of a shadow, the DBK almost doesn't she's okay with that. She prefers it probably that way so she can just do her thing. That's got to be part of that passing of the torch, doesn't it? Because you can't predict it.
Yeah. Right. And I'm sure they talked about that before she took the job. I'm sure that they discussed how it might be. And that John Cook is a legend and is also really, really good being a public figure. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. He really understands. So does Matt Rule. He understands how to do it. And not every coach does. Now, Dani Busboom Kelly seems to understand it too. She's very natural, though, very, very comfortable in her own.
Yeah.
Just the way she answers questions. There was a question that was asked to her about the 4 defensive specialists and the way that after the match, and someone was like, well, how did you feel like each one did? And she said, well, I'm not going to break down each one. I'd rather not do that. And it was very politely said. But I think what she's trying to do is she's trying actually to let this team become its own entity and its own team. Was it the 52nd team or whatever? Team 52 or 53 of Nebraska volleyball. And I think she wants it to be its own team. And obviously there's still work in progress there. But very comfortable, you can tell, very, very authentic, very straightforward. Does have a sense of humor, can kind of go back and forth with the reporters, but not too much. And she's fun. And I think she's going to be a great fit.